Hello friends, I look like absolute garbage right now, but I just wanted to come on here before this video goes up that I am re-uploading and let you know that it is a re-upload. If you see me looking maybe more tan, have longer hair, look less chronically ill, it's because this video was filmed last summer and it's one of the videos that I ended up deleting when I basically started my channel over, and I just wanted to let you know that this is a re-upload. It is still something I stand behind, and if you're interested in any more Kobo content, let me know. Yeah, this is going up because I had corrupted footage and I can't do anything about my blog that was going up. So I hope you enjoy this re-upload. Thank you so much for your patience, and I'll see you guys very, very soon with a current video. Hello friends, welcome back to my channel. If you're new here, my name is Coco and I post videos about reading, I post videos about gaming, and sometimes crochet as well. But today I have a very exciting video, especially if you are someone who watches me for my Kobo videos, because we are doing a Kobo FAQ. In the last 2 Kobo videos that I did, I've gotten a lot of questions and I just thought that I would put them all in a video to answer and be able to link for people, and that way people don't have to go searching for the answers to their questions. And a lot of them are really good questions. So I have my coffee, made this myself. Doesn't it look like a $7 coffee from a coffee shop? This is Aldi cold foam. Anyway, let's get started. I have my Kobo with me. I've got my Kobo stylus, and let's go ahead and answer some questions. So first of all, this is my Kobo. I have the Kobo Libra Colour in white. Let me just take it out of the case. You can take a look at it. This is how it looks straight out of the box. It's got the on-off button is in the back. We have a USB-C port, and this is how you charge it and also how you connect your stylus for the first time. It is textured in the back, so if you don't want a case, I guess you could hold it like this, although for me, my hand is too small for that and I would not be able to do that. Now again, on-off switch. There's no ads on the lock screen, so that's basically all that there is to it. It's got the 2 front and back buttons, which you can program to do different things. The next question I get all the time is, where did I get my case? Now this is not a complicated question, but the answer is complicated because I got this off of eBay. Did not realize this was a drop shipped case, and I do not support drop shipping. I don't want to link specifically to this case. There's very similar ones on Etsy or other handmade or non-drop shipped cases that you can buy that are very similar. Just look up like old book style case on Etsy or eBay or something. Just try to make sure it's not drop shipped, because this one you see everywhere. You see this on eBay, you see this on the drop shipping areas of Etsy. I did not know this was drop shipped. I would not have bought it. However, it is a case that I enjoy. I like it, but once again, I wouldn't have bought it if I knew it was drop shipped. The next question that I get a lot is it blurry? So a lot of people have issues when they notice that it's not as sharp as, like, say, their phone screen. Now, I don't ever notice it. This is a thing that the color e-readers have. If it's e-ink and it's color, it's not gonna be quite as sharp as if you have just a non-color e-reader, but I don't notice it. And I also had somebody comment on one of my videos and tell me that there's a way that you can get around it, and I will show you some b-roll of that, and I have done that and it has made a difference. Like I said, to me, when you have the brightness up and when you're just reading and you're not really paying attention, it doesn't bother me whatsoever. To me, it's as clear as a physical book would be, so I don't have any issues with that. Another question I get, which is one of the most important questions when looking at Kobo versus Amazon for me. I do not want to support Amazon, and the reasons why are because Jeff Bezos does not have good business practices. He invests in a lot of really bad things. Feel free to read How to Resist Amazon and Why by Danny Kane. Now, I didn't want to support Amazon even before I read this book, but after it, you really won't want to support Amazon, and just the way that they treat their employees, the way that they treat their customers, the monopoly that they're able to have on every single industry is kind of scary, and if I can opt out of that in some sort of way, I will. So this is why, even though Kobo is another corporation, it is Canadian and is not from the US. There's a lot more regulations. I feel more comfortable supporting Kobo than I do Amazon, because Amazon is just a harbinger of so many forms of exploitation. So I personally do not want to support Jeff Bezos. I know there's a lot of things and a lot of circumstances where people have to, and that's fine. But when I'm choosing a luxury item like an e-reader, for me, I wanted to go with Kobo. So that is why I did it. I don't like billionaires and I don't want to support them. So especially the very, 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 very unethical ones. There's no ethical billionaire. There's ones that are worse than others. Elon Musk. Anyway, so the next question that I get is, I have Libby. Can I use it on Kobo? Now, you may not know this, but Overdrive, if your library uses Overdrive, Libby is a subset of Overdrive. So if you have a Libby account, you have an Overdrive account and vice versa. So you can still log into your library on the Kobo. It's just going to be called Overdrive rather than Libby. That is how I get most of my ebooks. I don't read them on my phone very much. It hurts my eyes. So I tend to do it on my Kobo and I really enjoy it. Plus you don't have to worry about returning it late and it being overdue because it'll automatically return. Another question I get sometimes is, how big is it? So I have some measurements on my very first Kobo video that I pinned from somebody's comment asking me what the size was. Now I am 5'5". I'd say I have pretty normal size hands for a woman and I can hold both sides. However, it is a bit of a stretch for me. I generally hold it like this. I like that if I hold it in my left hand, the on-off button is right here. And yeah, to me, I think, I can't remember exactly what the dimensions were. I'll put them up on the screen, but it looks to be about like 5.5 by 6.5 inches. So to me, it's a perfect size. I think it'd be good for someone with bigger hands than me, someone with smaller hands than me, because you can hold it many different ways. There is a lip on here if you decide to go without a case so that you can hold it easier and not have it slide out of your hand, because there is a lip so you can hold on to it. Now, another question I get is, how do I get my Kindle books onto Kobo? Unfortunately, I know there's things like Caliber and other things where you can take the DRM off of books. However, Amazon has made it impossible to download your books, so you cannot do that. So I think if you haven't done it by now, I don't know if there's a way to do it. I personally haven't tried. I didn't really have many Kindle books that I cared about when I switched over, so I didn't even try. I have EPUBs that I've bought other places, and those are really easy to put on through Google Drive. That I can't really help you with, and I'm pretty sure it's too late to do that at that point. However, if you have any EPUBs, you can put them on here. Leading from that question, another one that I've gotten is, when you put your own EPUBs on through Google Drive, do the stats still work? So this is talking about when you go to activity, like right now I'm reading Gideon the Ninth. It tells me all of this information, how long I've been reading it, when I pick it up, how long do I read for, how many pages a minute, what the percentage of books that I have are finished, and how many total hours of reading that I've done on my Kobo. And that is included with EPUB. Now, sometimes depending on the format of your EPUB, the page numbers can be a little bit off from like your EPUB, especially if you went from like PDF to EPUB. It's a little bit off. However, the way Kobo picks their pages, it's still, it works itself out. But yes, if you want to do fan fiction, if you have EPUBs of books, if somebody gave you one for free, like say a publisher lets you download one, or you got one from a friend, that type of thing, it does work for the stats, which is really nice. Another question you might have is the stylus worth it? And personally for me, yes. If you are not someone who annotates a lot, you don't take notes, maybe not. However, I do believe that it is worth it. And then I will show you. So it is magnetic. You can connect your stylus either to the side or to the front, and this just allows you to have this on there without it falling off. Every case that I've used, the Kobo one, this one, they work with the magnetism. So this one, I can still keep my Kobo. Doesn't work as well with the side, but with this one I can still have my pen, my stylus, and it'll hold on to it. There's a couple different ways you can do it. It's magnetic in a couple different spots, but I don't tend to use that. I just stick the Kobo stylus in one of my pouches with all my other writing utensils. I keep my Apple Pencil in there and everything, but you can do that if you'd like. If you just like want to set it on top of a stack of books, put your Kobo stylus there and make sure you don't lose it. You can do that as well. I personally believe that the stylus is very easy to use. It works really well. There is a button on it where you can click that that and hold it to highlight rather than write on a book or any sort of item that you get. And you can annotate basically anything that you put on here. Obviously audiobooks you can't, but if you have an EPUB that you added, if you have, I think you can do it on library books, you can highlight and annotate on library books as well. I don't know why you would, because you're gonna lose that, but you can do that as well. I guess if you ever check it out again, it'll probably be on there, but you can take notes, you can do whatever, and there is a way that you can go back and look at your annotations. Specifically, you don't have to search through the book, which I really enjoy, and that's on any sort of like book that you have downloaded to your Kobo. I've gotten asked a couple questions about the white Kobo specifically, like if I think it gets dirty. For me, I keep a case on it. However, the way that the material is, it's like kind of matte plastic, but it's very wipeable. You can use one of those alcohol wipes or anything like that to clean it off, but I've never had trouble with it getting dirty if it's in a case or if it's not in a case. So I've never really had a problem with it. I don't tend to leave it in places where it can get dirty very easily, but also like with regular use, it still hasn't gotten gross at all. I would say like a phone would get way more gross than the Kobo would, and I just think it's because of the material. The plastic is a lot easier to clean than say like the metal of a phone or the glass of a phone. So I've never had a problem with it. I have had some questions about if I think Kobo Plus is worth it. I have not tried Kobo Plus, but I am thinking of doing a video where I try out Kobo Plus to see if I like it. I don't know how it's going to work out because I don't usually use any sort of like subscription service for reading. It's just not something that I do. I will either buy a book or get it off of Libby or Overdrive. So I don't generally use that very much, but I'm happy to try it out and maybe I'll like it for myself and keep it. Who knows? Again, I never did Kindle Unlimited because the only time I really used Kindle was for library books and I didn't want to support Amazon, so I would never do Kindle Unlimited. Although it stinks because there's a lot of Kindle Unlimited exclusives, which I think is done by design. So that's, I mean, there's not much you can do about that. So if I haven't already talked about anything in this video and you want to know the answer to a question, let me know. I will try to answer it. I am not the foremost expert on e-readers. I just enjoy my Kobo and have switched from Kindle to Kobo and I really enjoy it. So let me know if you have any questions. Let me know if you want to see anything else specific that has to do with Kobo or just reading in general, or any other video ideas you would like to see me do. Let me know, and I hope to see you guys in the next video. Thank you guys so much for watching. Have a great rest of your day. Bye.